Money secrets they don't want you to know. Have you ever felt like you work hard but your money just slips through the cracks? It's not your fault. The financial system is complex and full of hidden tricks. In this video, we'll reveal practical money secrets and the habits of wealthy people so you can build real wealth too. We'll talk about current trends like inflation and side hustles, share real data, and show you how to make money work for you. By the end, you'll understand how to avoid hidden fees, use compound interest, and apply the same financial strategies the rich use to your own life.
Hidden banking fees drain your cash.
Banks and billers quietly tack on fees that eat into your savings. In fact, a 2024 report found the average US household pays about $14.95 a year in hidden costs like late fees, overdrafts, and other penalties. Imagine that almost $1,500 of your hard-earned money each year vanishes in fees and surprises. For example, banks often charge monthly maintenance fees. TD Bank and Citibank charge up to $15 per month just to keep your account open. Unless you hit a balance threshold, overdraft fees are another big one. Banks charged Americans roughly $8 billion in overdraft fees in 2023. That's about $60 per household. These junk fees built into checking accounts and credit cards can silently drain you. It's critical to watch out. Hidden fees can lock your money in a loop, paying late because of overdrafts, etc., even harming your credit. In contrast, wealthy savers track every charge and avoid unnecessary fees. Don't let small charges add up. Review your bank statements. Use low-fee accounts and contest any unjust fees. Every dollar you save on fees can be another dollar invested toward your goals.
Inflation, the silent thief.
You've heard about inflation, but do you feel its bite? Inflation is simply prices rising, which means each dollar buys less. In June 2022, US inflation spiked about 9.1%, stirred by supply issues, stimulus, and other things. And even though it has cooled, it was 3% by mid-2023 and around 2 to 3% in early 2025. That means if you left $100 under your mattress in 2023, it would only have the buying power of about $91 in 2022. The point, inflation is always quietly eating away at cash. The wealth counter this by putting money into investments that typically grow faster than inflation. For example, historically, the US stock market, the S&P 500, has returned about 10% per year on average, outpacing inflation over time. Even conservative savers use vehicles like high-yield savings, bonds, or real estate to preserve and grow purchasing power. The key is to keep your money working, invested or interest-bearing accounts, rather than idle. This way, while inflation rises, your assets grow too. Understanding inflation means you can plan. Maybe lock in a fixed mortgage at low rates or regularly invest in index funds to make inflation work for you, not against you.
The power of compound interest.
Here's a truly mind-blowing secret. Compound interest is like a snowball. It's the reason small amounts invested over time can grow into big sums. Albert Einstein reportedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. The idea, when you earn interest on your money and then earn interest on that interest, your wealth accelerates. To put numbers on it, the stock market's around 10% historical average means every dollar can roughly double in about 7 to 8 years. For example, say you invested $200 per month at a 7% annual return after inflation. In 30 years, you would have accumulated about $240,000 from just 72 grand contributed. Math via the power of compounding. It's not a get-rich-quick trick, but a consistent long-term habit. The wealthy know this and start early. Even if you can only start small today, start now. Over decades, compounding turns pennies into portfolios. As one of the GFLEC Big Three finance questions illustrates, many people don't realize that leaving $100 at 2% interest with 2% inflation means you can actually end up with less buying power. Learning the math of the compounding and beating inflation gives you a huge head start.
Financial literacy, the true superpower.
Notice how these money secrets all depend on knowing how money works. Yet surveys show only about 50% of US adults are financially literate, meaning most people lack basic understanding of interest, inflation, or risk. Think about it. Our schools teach math and history, but not how to handle taxes, loans, or invest. So many end up in debt at the mercy of confusing bank terms. You can break the cycle. Instead, take control by learning the basics of budgeting, credit, and investing. Read up on how interest accumulates, how credit scores work, and what fees you can avoid. The wealthy build their edge through education. They ask questions, read financial news, work with advisors, or even teach themselves online. Remember, it's never too late to learn. Each article or video you consume turns a hidden trick into your tool. If you know how your bank makes money through fees and lending, you can cut those costs. If you understand how retirement accounts grow tax-free, you can use them. This knowledge gap is a prime secret, and you can close it. You can stop feeling held back. So, what do wealthy people actually do differently? Here are some key habits and strategies they use, and you can too. Invest early and often. They routinely put money into investments that grow: stocks, index funds, real estate, and let compound interest work. Even small, regular contributions add up. Diversify your income. Rich people usually have multiple income streams. An IRS study found the average millionaire has about 7 different sources of income. That could be a day job, rental income, dividends from stocks, a business side gig, or royalties. If one stream dips, others keep paying. Minimize fees and debt. They avoid high-interest debt like credit cards and shop around for low-fee accounts. Since hidden fees can only be around $1,495 a year, the wealthy read the fine print. They negotiate or eliminate fees on their accounts, and they pay bills on time to avoid late penalties. Live below their means. Generally, they spend less than they earn. They prioritize saving and investing over flashy lifestyles. For example, many multimillionaires got wealthy before they were rich. They saved early on. We all know the top 10% of households own around 76% of the wealth in the US. One big reason is that these households consistently practice frugality and smart investing over decades. Continuous learning. They stay curious about money. Whether it's reading books, following markets, or learning from mentors, they keep improving their money skills. Since half of Americans struggle with basic finance, continuously learning gives you an edge. Together, these habits form a powerful blueprint. You don't need to earn $1 million a year to use them. Even on a modest income, doing these well-designed things with your money moves you ahead faster than doing what everyone else does. Another key secret: the wealthy make money while they sleep. They don't rely on a single paycheck. Today's economy has made side hustles and passive income easier to start. In fact, about 36% of Americans now have a side hustle alongside their main job, from freelancing to tutoring, from e-commerce to gig work. Meanwhile, IRS data shows millionaires often diversify with investments or businesses to create passive streams. So how can you use this? It could be as simple as putting small savings into dividend-paying stocks, investing in a rental property, or starting an online gig that earns even a few $100s a month. Every extra source of income you build adds stability and accelerates wealth building. The trend is clear. Many people don't use a side income alone these days. If you follow this trend wisely, choosing efforts with growth potential, you can use passive income to pay down debt, cover living expenses, or be funneled back into investments. None of these secrets are mystical. They're just overlooked or taught too late. If you're motivated to take this further, we've got resources to help you. Click the link below to learn more about earning and what I do in the financial industry, or learn how certain strategies the wealthy have been using for years. You have the power to change your money story. Start today. Use these insights, build your financial literacy, and take action. The same tactics the rich use are within your reach. All it takes is knowledge and determination. Click the link and let's get started on your path to financial empowerment.